Seth Rollins just revealed the most elaborate deception in WWE history. Seth Rollins orchestrated the most shocking reveal on Raw last night. The masked attackers who've been terrorizing multiple wrestlers for weeks weren't rogue vigilantes or returning legends or any of the theories fans spent hours debating online. They were Seth's hired mercenaries all along, carrying out a coordinated campaign of chaos designed to destabilize WWE's entire roster while Seth positioned himself as just another victim to avoid suspicion. This wasn't just a storyline twist, this was Seth executing a months-long con that fooled everyone, proving that the Architect nickname isn't just a callback to his Shield days but an accurate description of someone who can manipulate entire rosters while keeping his hands clean. This isn't just Seth being revealed as a mastermind behind attacks, this is WWE admitting they've been lying to audiences for months about who was responsible for multiple storylines, making every wrestler who was attacked look stupid for not figuring it out, and essentially telling fans everything you saw and discussed was built on deception we planned from day one. Seth didn't just trick the characters, he tricked the audience, making us believe he was recovering from Brock's attack, that he was randomly helping people, that his various appearances were disconnected incidents rather than pieces of an elaborate scheme. But here's what makes this absolutely mind-blowing: if Seth was behind the masked attackers all along, that means every attack we've witnessed was part of his plan. Braun Breaker getting jumped? Seth's doing. Paul Heyman's injuries? Seth orchestrated that. The various backstage assaults that created paranoia throughout the roster? All Seth. He's been playing 4D chess while everyone else was playing checkers, creating chaos that served his ultimate goal of destabilizing WWE so thoroughly that he could position himself as the solution to the problem he secretly created. Smash that like button and subscribe to Wrestling News CC because I'm about to break down exactly how Seth's deception unfolded, which attacks were revealed to be his doing, and why this might be the most brilliant long-term storytelling WWE has executed in years or the most convoluted mess that requires audiences to completely recontextualize months of television to make any sense of what we've been watching. Let me walk you through this masterclass in deception because the reveal recontextualizes everything we've seen for months. Raw opens with chaos. Multiple masked attackers are scattered throughout the arena, not hiding anymore but openly challenging the roster. It's like they've abandoned stealth for open warfare, creating an atmosphere of total anarchy. Security is overwhelmed trying to contain multiple simultaneous incidents. Wrestlers are being attacked in different locations: locker rooms, hallways, the parking lot. It's coordinated chaos that suggests these aren't random acts but a planned assault on WWE's entire infrastructure. Then Seth Rollins' music hits. The crowd's reaction is confusion because Seth appearing during this chaos suggests he's either here to help stop the attackers or he's walking into danger by being in the open. Either way, his presence adds another layer of uncertainty to an already chaotic situation. Seth walks out, but something's different. He's not running to help. He's not looking concerned. He's smiling, that knowing smirk that suggests he's in on a joke nobody else understands yet. Seth enters the ring and grabs a microphone while chaos continues around him. The masked attackers have stopped their assault and are now converging toward the ring, surrounding it from all sides. The visual is ominous: Seth surrounded by threats, apparently about to be attacked himself. But Seth raises his hand in a stopping motion, and the masked attackers freeze. They don't attack him. They don't even move toward him. They just stand there like soldiers awaiting orders from their commander. The crowd realizes what's happening before the announcers even say it. Seth is in control of these attackers. They work for him. Seth's smile widens. You know what the best part about being called the Architect is? People think it's just a nickname, a callback to my Shield days. But it's so much more than that. Because an architect doesn't just build, an architect designs, plans, creates structures so complex that nobody sees the full blueprint until it's too late. He pauses for effect while the crowd processes this bombshell. For months, I've been designing chaos. These masked attackers you've all been so afraid of? They work for me. Every attack, every incident, every moment of fear and paranoia in that locker room, I created it. I hired them. I directed them. And all of you, the roster, management, the fans, you all fell for it perfectly. The crowd is erupting, not heel heat, but genuine shock at the scope of Seth's deception. Seth continues, you want to know why? Because WWE got comfortable. The roster got lazy. Everyone was content with their positions, their little feuds, their predictable storylines. So I decided to inject chaos. To make everyone paranoid. To create an environment where nobody knew who to trust. Then comes the revelation that recontextualizes specific attacks. Braun Breaker? I had him attacked to test his resolve, to see if WWE's future was actually tough enough to handle adversity. Paul Heyman? Removing him temporarily served multiple purposes: creating a mystery, eliminating a manipulative voice, testing how Roman would respond without his advocate. Seth is listing specific attacks, taking credit for incidents that seemed disconnected but were apparently all part of his master plan. And the beautiful part? I positioned myself as a victim too. You all saw Brock destroy me, right? Saw me get stretchered out, hospitalized, supposedly injured for weeks? Seth laughs. That was theater. Brock and I have an understanding. He helped me sell the idea that I was just another target rather than the architect of everything. The implication that Brock was potentially in on this adds another layer of complexity. Was Brock's attack on Seth real or staged? Seth isn't making that completely clear, which creates ambiguity about who else might be part of his scheme. Then Seth makes the ultimate reveal about his true target, but all of this, every attack, every moment of chaos, it was building toward one goal, proving that CM Punk is not the best in the world, that his championship reign is fragile, that when real chaos erupts, Punk can't handle it. So at WrestleMania, when I challenge him for the World Heavyweight Championship, he'll already be broken from months of paranoia, weakened from constant attacks, and defeated before the match even begins. It all clicks into place. Seth orchestrated months of chaos specifically to psychologically destroy CM Punk before facing him for the championship. It's diabolical, elaborate, and honestly brilliant if WWE actually commits to this as the explanation. The masked attackers remove their masks one by one, revealing their hired wrestlers from independent promotions, talented workers Seth brought in specifically for this mission. They're not WWE roster members, which explains why nobody recognized them and why they had no apparent connection to ongoing storylines. Seth raises his arms in triumph, standing in the center of the ring surrounded by his mercenary army, having just revealed himself as the mastermind behind months of unexplained attacks and chaos. Here's why this reveal is either brilliant or catastrophically flawed depending on execution. On the brilliant side, this is legitimately complex long-term storytelling where WWE planted seeds months ago and actually paid them off with a coherent explanation. Seth being the mastermind makes character sense. He's always been portrayed as intelligent and strategic, capable of elaborate schemes. It also elevates Seth's heel work to another level. He's not just another bad guy who attacks people, he's someone who created systemic chaos that affected the entire roster, making him feel like a genuine threat to WWE stability. On the flawed side, this requires audiences to recontextualize months of television they've already processed. People who were invested in figuring out who the attackers were might feel cheated that the answer was someone who wasn't obviously connected to any storyline. It also makes multiple wrestlers look stupid. Braun Breaker couldn't figure out Seth was behind his attacks despite being smart. Management couldn't investigate and discover Seth hired outsiders. The entire roster was fooled by one guy's scheme. The locker room reaction is reportedly mixed. Some wrestlers think this is creative genius and are excited to see where it leads. Others are frustrated that their characters were made to look incompetent by not figuring out Seth's plan despite having months to investigate. CM Punk is reportedly intrigued by this direction, seeing it as giving their WrestleMania match built in psychology beyond just two guys fighting for a belt. The psychological warfare aspect creates storytelling depth. Braun Breaker and others who were attacked are concerned their storylines were basically hijacked to serve Seth's larger narrative without their characters getting satisfactory resolution to being victimized. Here's what WWE needs to do to make this work. Flashback segments showing moments we missed: Seth meeting with the masked attackers, planning specific attacks, coordinating with potential allies. That fills in gaps and makes the reveal feel earned rather than pulled from nowhere. Address the Brock question: was Brock's attack on Seth real or staged? If staged, show how Seth convinced Brock to participate. If real, explain how Seth turned a genuine injury into opportunity. Give victims of the attacks their revenge, not just against the hired mercenaries, but against Seth for orchestrating everything. Let wrestlers who were targeted get some payback before Seth faces Punk at WrestleMania. My prediction? This builds to a multi-person match at WrestleMania, Punk defending against Seth, but with added stipulation that if Seth's mercenaries interfere, he's disqualified. Multiple wrestlers Seth targeted get involved seeking revenge, creating chaos that ironically defeats Seth's plan. Punk retains, but Seth's scheme establishes him as WWE's most dangerous heel going forward, someone capable of long-term manipulation that goes beyond simple attacks. The fan reaction has been explosive. Social media is divided between people praising WWE for actual long-term storytelling and people frustrated that months of mystery led to Seth hired people as the answer. Wrestling Twitter is dissecting every past segment trying to find clues they missed that pointed toward Seth being the mastermind. Drop your thoughts. Is this brilliant long-term storytelling or a convoluted mess? Did you see any clues Seth was behind this? And does this make WWE's roster look stupid for not figuring it out? Comments below. This is Wrestling News CC, covering the revelations that change everything. Subscribe for continued coverage of Seth's scheme and the WrestleMania payoff. Seth Rollins was the mastermind. The masked attackers worked for him. Months of chaos were designed to destroy CM Punk psychologically. And WWE just revealed they've been playing the long game while we thought they were making it up weekly. This is either genius or disaster. Time will tell which. But one thing is certain: Seth Rollins just proved he's still the architect, building elaborate schemes while everyone else is focused on simple attacks. Welcome to Seth's world, where nothing is what it seems, and everyone is a pawn in his game. Hashtag Seth Rollins, hashtag WWE, hashtag Raw, hashtag Masked Attackers, hashtag The Architect, hashtag Long Term Booking, hashtag Master.